according to sustainability, when any project is looking into, I started right? Yeah. When any project is looking into its monetary benefit, other benefits like non-monetary benefits like social and what else? Environmental effects and impacts should also be taken care of each and every project. That is today's norm, and we are living in the era of sustainable society, right? We cannot forget other two terms when you look for developments, right? Uh, Whenever I say development, what comes to your mind? Industrial revolution. We can take industrial revolution and talk about the effects and impacts due to that industrial revolution. But I don't cover much on industrial revolution because it is too much if I add that as well. But before I start, I give you the introduction on this as well. It is IR started from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are in IR 4 technology, right? These developments also started from steam engine, growing to some developments in electronics, electrical, then computer. Today we are in more than computer, which is virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, blockchain, right? All these things are ruling today, right? Singapore is fully modernized with the year 4 for your information, and this pandemic situation also enhanced them, helped them to adapt this year 4 fully into their country in each and every department, starting from government until the retailers. Everyone is using this IR4 technology, fully developed technology. One moment, one moment, sorry. Hello? Yes. So IR4 technology, when you look for the developments due to whatever type of improvement there, you should also look for the environment. That is most important factor for today. Right, let's move on to the next slide. So first one here, it is covering your this chapter 6, development and its impact on the environment, and CLO4 covered under CLO4. Please take care of each and every CLO when you prepare for your exam. Prepare according to the CLO, our question paper, everything will be based on this. See whether you have enough materials, understanding of these topics or not. Right? If not, you can write to me or call me or Ayaben, collect the respective notes if you want additional, not clear. Then other you prepare yourself, make your notes, thoroughly study. Don't go until wait until the examination. Right now, when I finish this chapter, you should have your own notes written by today or tomorrow, or at least over the weekend. Right. This has analyzed the social environmental implications of technology developments, including sustainable developments, risk management, and OSHA issues. The OSHA has been already covered by Ayaben in chapter, I think chapter 4 or 5. So you please take the same notes, not much important here. But I cover all other social, environmental, and risk assessment, risk management techniques. We already covered some of the theory behind. All these things will be helpful for your learning. Right. Just recap of last class. We have done risk assessment. We also saw some examples. Matrix, right? How to form the matrix, qualitative or quantitative. Qualitative means you will have used the Likert scale. Otherwise, you will have the quantitative means in terms of percentage or fractions or by range. You can quantify the risk. Risk management, there are characteristics, 7 steps are there to follow risk management technique. And we had a quiz, we didn't have quiz, but maybe I can contact today after the class. Just to recap, the 7 steps for risk management. First, establish the content, understand the issue first, the crisis first, then identifying the type of risk, right? Next is just recap of last class, quick recap. Identify the risk, what type of risk, what type of threat it is. Analyze and evaluate the risk. Once you have understood the problem, understood the risk behind the problem, analyze and evaluate in terms of numbers or in terms of interviews or in terms of experts review or survey. You may have to analyze and quantify it, then try to retreat by reducing or managing. These are all management techniques applied here, so that you can evaluate, you can eliminate, or have some preparedness plan, right? Contingency plan to face it. If you cannot avoid, you have to face it. In that case, you must have a plan to face it. Implement the plan, and then finally review and evaluate whether your risk management plan is successful or not, and how sustainable over the period of time, especially how successful over the period of the life service period of the company, like the product or the machine or the plant. Like if you build a treatment plan for 20 years, you should serve 20 years, right? Without any risk, without any clogging, without any shutting down of the system, right? Water supply, recently we have all we had some commissioning, water commissioning since 2014. We are having water commissioning in Selangor. Why? Because of shutdown of many system, many treatment system, many water treatment plant got clogged. By that, they have to shut down the system, commission water, share water among the community, so that they are sustainable. Such things should be avoided, right, by have proper planning and implementation. Review and evaluate the, finally after implementation, you must review and evaluate whether your plan is successful or need any improvement, action, or further retreatment of this risk management process. Okay, last quiz, I want to declare the engineering design quiz, top 3 ranks: Bay, Adrian, and Ali Hazi. Okay, give them a big hand. Are you there? I cannot hear sound. Right. And top 10. These are the top 10 scorers. Bay, Adrian, Ali Mosul, Mozumi, Che. Give your name. Please take credit. You are scoring high, but you don't want to give your name. You have to give your name. And these are the 100% scorers. These people, Tian, Ali, Dania, all these people are 100% scorers. When they do often the quizzes, they will have top up, what do you call, credits. They will have credits, additional credits. Right. Topic for today: environmental impact due to industrial revolution, especially. Although I don't touch upon what is industrial revolution, these are all schooling you already done, and you can read and understand what is its development, right? From stone era to until robotics era, right? Acid rain, air pollution, water problems, deforestation. You may add any number, but in my collection, in our collection, it is only these 4. Industrial revolution, all these developments. Whenever I say development, I directly relate to industrial development. Whether this industrial development has taken into account environment and society, which is non-economic, right? It is not directly giving economic, but other perspective of the life, which is environment and society, or not. When you discuss about that, these are all the impact, right? The threats. It causes acid rain, it causes air pollution. The industrial revolution, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, causes acid rain, air pollution, water problem, deforestation. How are they? We are going to discuss under these head few implications. Whatever engineer you might be, you should know this devastation caused to the environment. That is why we bring in this chapter in 1 class or 2 class. In the past, what happened due to industrial development in the past? Always we take their example from British, right? Why? Because they are the one pioneer and starter or beginner of everything. Because last few centuries, you can take centuries, 3-4 centuries, they are the topmost ruling party, ruling the world, right? They say wherever the sun rises, the kingdom is there, right? Like that, they are the one ruling, and they are the one initiator for good or bad. So it's good we take example from them to understand how this revolution started, how this has impacted in British. Key features of the British Industrial Revolution. The spread of the Industrial Revolution into other parts of the world in several ways. Started from British, they were spread to other countries because they were trading or because of their education and so on. The social effects of the Industrial Revolution on the populations within industrial society and the global world order. So it is both local problem, and also this industrial revolution brought some local issues and also continental issues. The creation of the developed and developing world divide. With that, right, because of these issues, they started, they even led to the point that they have to divide the geographical area into different parts, right? When it is going worsen, right, and it is worsen, not manageable, it has even put end to the global economy by dividing, no, geography, not economy, geography, by dividing its world into different parts. Now, this is in the past, and in the past, all the revolutions started from British and spread to other countries, and how because of the spread they have to divide the geographical zones. Now, let's consider what happened, what impact industrialization had on the environment around the world. To analyze the same scenario for current situation, we focus on Britain and British Empire because it happened there first. They are the number one. Whatever the development, they are the number one to enjoy. Then they spread to other countries. The environmental changes begun in the 18th century are still detectable in Britain today. Those impacts which are caused in 18th century, 19th century until today is still identifiable. Archaeologists, the job of archaeologists, if you talk to them, they will give more examples of these kind of impact, devastation caused by environment in the environment due to developments. Those 18th century traces are still available in Britain, either in the museum or directly you can see that those developments. I think you might have studied in your schools, in your if you're doing international history or international geography in your classes, you would have come across those developments, those trades, those traces with the what broken houses, right? Broken bits of stones or decolorized statues and so on are still available as an example of uh, devastation or degradation in the environment. When the environment is not as it is, right? For example, if the land use is a forest, forest should be forest. If the forest change to all falling down trees or cutting down trees, no growth, right? Agricultural land beside also not growing any plantation, anything, any crops, then automatically there is a change, right? If it is still a cultivable land, right? Mineral rich land, then there is no issue. If the minerals are changing, the constituents are changing, automatically there is a problem, issue in environment. Air pollution. So far we discussed about past and current, how they are, right? We can still identify those traces of 18th century changes, right? Changes in the environment and the traces. Air pollution. Air pollution causes, I mean acid rain. In terms of acid rain, we can explain this. Burning of coal. Number one, air pollution, right? Very first, all of you know that. Can you give me an example why the air pollution is there? Take New Delhi if you are India or China. China and India are very good example for this. Number one in air pollution, especially the main cities. Why there is an air pollution? Any good example quickly? Anyone? Quick. The recent one also, very recent news also said about this. Because of what causes air pollution? Quick. Please think. Since we are doing online, everywhere we are talking about critical thinking, whether the teachers are importing critical thinking or not is still a questionable. Unless you answer or ask question, critical thinking will not develop. What's the reason for air pollution? Quick one, sir.
Factories.
Louder, please.
Factories.
Factories, very good. Any other?
Open burning.
Very good. As an individual, what is happening? As an individual, you are polluting how?
Cars.
Very good. Very good answer. Everyone has car now. Because the car company wants to grow, they give many loans, right? Everyone is affordable to get the car, if not public transport. Because public transport frequency is less and convenience is less, not conducive. Everyone afford to buy car. By that, everyone is traveling. Everyone is polluting the environment because of because most of the people are working, right? Almost all people in urban, especially urban region, all are working. All members in the house are working. All are having cars. By that, they pollute the air, right? This is where individual pollution caused by any public. Now, burning of coal is already here. All copy from here. Burning of coals produces sulfur dioxide emission, right? Then what you have to do? You should stop this. Go for alternate, renewable, right? Burning of coal produces sulfur dioxide. We use coal for energy production, right? Other types of production. So using this as a fuel for their factories, by end up with release of sulfur dioxide. All the chimneys must have a filter or redirect the fumes into other form. Uh, recycle and change into other form which is not causing air pollution. Such things should be there in every factory. Then it is can be alleviated. Combined with other atmospheric compounds to produce sulfuric and nitric acid. See, this one from we are slowly getting to acid rain. How acid rain is produced? Sulfur dioxide emission from factories, productions, right? All the gas release, coal burning. They when they emerge into environment, the sulfuric and nitric acid is produced, right? They mix with the air, nitrogen, right? Nitrogen mix with nitrogen, mix with oxygen in the air. They produce sulfuric and nitric acid, fatal, which are poisonous, which are not simple thing, poisonous, fatal to some species of tree, fishes, and lesions. See, all these species are affected because of this release and subsequent production of these, right? Subsequent production of this one causes endanger these species. Number one, fishes and lesions, and then trees, also trees. We'll see how. Acid rain can leach out massive amount of aluminum from certain soils, and this has been shown to be a real toxin that kills fish. Mm. So this acid rain deposits, leach out means this deposit aluminum. Aluminum is toxin. Because of acid rain, it deposits most of the aluminum on the soils, which is toxic, which may kill the fishes and the insects which are living, right? The insects which is the worms and insects which are very helpful in reclamation of soil or soil production, good soil production, they are affected, and due to toxic nature of this component on the soil due to acid rain. Understand? Number one, produces acid rain. This acid rain not only affect when it falls, not only affect the tree, the fishes and lichens, but also the soil by affecting due to deposition of aluminum on the soil, which is toxic to all the worms, all the insects, right, and the fishes. If it is pond, right, reaches the pond, automatically it mixes from soil. It is mixed with water or the pond water where the fishes are grown or they are just living there, get affected by acid rain. Not only these species, come on, also darkened stone and made it brittle. Stones, right? The acid rain when it falls on the stone. This is on the trees and fishes solutions, and also stones. When it falls on the stones, the property of the stone itself, stone is very hard, right? Very hard and brittle. It has some capacity, and these are all used for building construction, and then cement, production, production of materials, minerals, and then many other compounds, many other products are based on these stones. When the stone get deteriorated, right, right, it will be quickly broken. Yesterday news, the temperature, the climate change, effect of climate change, the news they show very nicely. Maybe they zipped the video, but they show how fast the ice cream is melting. When they put the ice cream on the beach, very fast it's melting. They have shown this increase in temperature in the environment by means of this. Just yesterday news. Ice creams are melting within a second, within a minute, right? Very fast melting. 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. They show the video there. So to that extent, the temperature is increasing in most of the parts of the world. They show two parts. They mention 2 parts of the world. Some parts of Eastern African, I don't remember exactly, but it is very quick and very dangerous that the temperature is going high due to climate change. Like that, the darkened stones, when it is darkened, it is brittle, right? Made it brittle, very strong, but it will be brittle, become brittle and put to unused, right? Useless material or strengthless material cannot depend on this material anymore. And it darkened vegetation, fostering evolutionary changes in moths, insects, and butterflies. Industrial melanism. The meaning of industrial melanism means these insects, right? Moths, insects, butterflies, when they are living in polluted environment, polluted soil, polluted air, and they are using the polluted water, automatically their skins will have deposition of the melanin. The melanin will get dark, thick dark deposits, right? Either in the skin or on their hairs. All these darkened spots are very harmful for the ear. When see the skin's playing very important role in immunization system, the body's immunization system. When the skin got thick hard deposits, it will retard the immunization system of the skin, end up with spreading disease to the species, or get sick, or even to the extent of fatal. That's how this pollution is causing all these species, starting from vegetation, trees, fishes, lesions, and then fishes again, uh, and then vegetation, right, by causing industrial melanism. Due to industrial revolution, melanin of these insects, birds, moths become darken, become uh, what do you call the poor in immunization. They will retard the immunization system, causing diseases very quickly. So these are the effects due to acid rain. Have to be, so what you have to do, that comes in the next slide, in next chapter. But understand these effects, who are all endangered species, society, ecosystem, how they are affected by acid rain, mainly because of sulfur dioxide, sulfuric, nitric, and aluminum. When it goes to underground, becomes sulfur becomes the very dangerous one, poisonous one. When that water is underground water, most of 80% of the world population depend on underground water. When they use this type of water, which is sulfur rich, again causing danger to the society. Come on, these are the photographs, right? Photographs of see that what's acid rain. See, they have to ask like this, understand they are living with acid rain, air pollution, decolorated and decoloration. See the original statue color changed to darken color because of air pollution, acid rains, acid rain which has deteriorated these stones. Again, some black spots here, all due to, originally it might be this color, but due to acid rain, changed the color is changed, metamorphism changes the color. By aging, there is a change. Yes, by aging there is a change. In addition to that, these type of acid rain change their property very fast. Coal burning also leads to the emission of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. So you know what is greenhouse gases, right? There are important gases which are available under the troposphere, protecting the environment. But when these gases are not re-radiated back to the sun, it will be causing the or increasing the temperature by radiating back to the earth itself. It is not going out, right? It is not going out of the earth. It is re-radiated back to the earth, causing what is called temperature increase or climate change. By that, the greenhouse gases are affected, right? Next is the air pollution. So first one we saw acid air pollution due to acid rain. This one is due to smog, right? This type of atmospheric things I don't cover much here because there's another story I have to pictorially explain, otherwise you cannot understand. But understand that coal burning or causes acid rain as well as greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, right? Instead of radiating out of the atmosphere, it is re-radiated back into the atmosphere, causing pollution. And then air pollution, smog. Rapid population growth generated sizable ecological problems, particularly in London. 1801, 1 million. 1854, 2.3. 19, nearly 20th century, 6.6 million. Yeah, the population growth also, right? Population growth also one of the reasons that causes more pollution or increases the more pollution in many countries. Even if the population is not increasing due to people's greedy, right? Become competition among the countries, jealous, greedy in using the resources, they will end up with pollution. If they are not considering the environment, they will end up with pollution. But here the statistics says over the centuries, this is 19th century and mid of 19th century and 20th century, population keep growing. That is also cause for air pollution. London is subject to fogs. They are not just, see, one thing is air pollution. And this country like London, Norway, Sweden, right? All this country near to the northern region of the sphere, always they are having fog. They are just not the rain, it's not a snowfall. They always, most often they come across with what is called fog situation. This fog situation. This is activated or this is improvised due to air pollution called smog, exacerbated by smog and chemical emission. Right? Fog becomes smog because of this air pollution. In 1880, 3.5 million fireplaces are in London, all burning coal. Yeah. See, by nature they have the fog. There's a season during which they only have not snowfall, fog, like cloudy, not at the clouds at the top, at the sky. The cloud is in the land itself. To that extent, they have to, it is the vision is not clear, you know the problems, right? The vision is not clear, you cannot drive, you cannot move, you cannot progress, you can, like this pandemic situation, like a lockdown situation, right? You automatically every services will come to halt, leading to economic problem. Same thing happen. To overcome this, what they do, they burn more coals To overcome this climatic problem in this region, they burn more coal. What happened when they burn more coal? These websites are very helpful for you to get more information than what we are studying. I will go to this later. Let me finish this effects first. Then we come to current situation. Again, continued by the great smog situation in 1952, mid of 20th century. What happened? Early in December 1952, maybe your grandfather time, right? A cold fog descended upon London. Because of the cold, Londoners began to burn more coal than usual. See, to overcome the situation, the fog situation, they have to burn. They have to, what do you call them? Condensation must take place so that it is clear, the vision is clear. Concentration of pollutants, coal, smoke in particular, built up dramatically. So in addition to, when they burn the coal, the smoke that is coming out of the coal burning has added up to the fog. The fog or smog was so thick that driving became difficult or impossible. Concerts and screenings of the films were cancelled as the audience could not see the stage or screen. All activities, right? All activities, like we have to maintain the 1 meter distance due to COVID-19. It is due to fog. Even 1 meter distance you cannot see. To that extent, you're all surrounded by fog followed by smog. Smog is the uh, altered version or modified version of climate with human activities. But they have no other source, right? At that time. But if they use renewable energy during this time instead of burning coal, right, creating increasing the temperature around, then it would have been reduced the pollution due to coal smog. They all burning coals, which is very cheap and easy and available in every house, right? They produce additional smog causing air pollution, add to the air pollution which is already there. Pictorially, if you see, the chart explains you nicely how this is what's in the situation. Uh, Greater London, Great Britain or London, 1952. The chart says November, 1 week record, I think. Yeah, just 20, 25, 35, between 20 days, about 20 days, 20, 30 days, 1 month, 2020, 1 month. And they plot the smog and sulfur dioxide in milligrams per meter cubical area, milligram deposited in a cubical area, and this one is deaths per diem. You see here, deaths per diem. The smog is given in white, sulfur dioxide in yellow, deaths in white. Okay, come on. When you take this white color, say for example one value which is in one day, the value of smog is this much, right? And the sulfur dioxide deposit is this much, causing a death toll to 100. As it goes to very high value, right? Very high value. No, this white must be death toll. This is the sulfur smog. This is smog, this is sulfur dioxide, and this small line is the death toll, okay, or death per diem, right? Okay, we go by this value, lower value. On one day, the value of the smoke is this much, coincides with sulfur dioxide, and the death toll is very high. You see here, it's increasing, right? Increasing, or almost coinciding. Somewhere it's even coinciding. As long as this is increasing, smoke value increasing, sulfur dioxide increasing, death toll is also increasing. They are almost going together. The graph is going together. At one point, even if this is not increasing, death toll was increasing. You see, maybe because of the spread or because of other reasons, right? Or because of this smoke related to cost other effects in the human being tend to more fatal accidents than the normal. Okay, these are the situations. Sometimes it was over the period of time it was coinciding, but after some time, although this is not increasing, the smoke and deposits are not increasing, death toll was increasing. So it is alarming. This is alarming, right? So you must find out find out the cause and arrest in the beginning itself. If this is removed, if this yellow is removed, right, white is removed, yellow is removed, automatically this curve will fall down, right? Consequences: the fire had killed 4,000 people in December. 4,000 people in December. See, 1,000, maybe not this record. Another 8,000 died in weeks and months that followed. Only 1,000 only died. Maybe other record. This is 1952, right? This is 1952. Another record says fire has killed 4,000 people in December. See, within a month. Another 8,000 died in weeks and months that followed. It's all quite good number, big number, some percentage, right? Because already the population in eastern countries and east western countries are very low, especially in Britain, imperial region, it is always very low because giving birth child is very difficult in UK, especially UK region. You know when a lady in UK, if she gave birth to 10 children, she's called the Iron Lady. She was given the award as Iron Lady. To that extent, it's very difficult, and the climate is not suitable for increasing the population. The population, that's why whenever we say constant population, the good example is London, UK. Population is not increasing, maybe maintain constant or little bit increase. It's unlike Africa, India, and China. In that case, that death toll is so high, right? So high. You see the countries, how the country will develop 4,000, 8,000 within a week, right? Within a week. And these shocking revelations led to a rethinking of air pollution. Rethinking of air pollution. So because of this, or whenever there is a consequence, immediately we think of taking action, providing solution, coming out with plan A, plan B, risk management, and so on. Then they started with enacted Clean Air Acts 1956. After this fog in 1952, 56 they waited until this year. 4 years they suffer all these things. Come out with a plan called 1956, 1968, and the City of London various powers under Act 1954. They develop Clean Air Acts to protect the environment. Okay, this is an example of before pandemic and after pandemic to give you example of how the air pollution. It's an example from India. Air pollution in India before COVID-19 pandemic situation. During pandemic, during lockdown, see the same photograph in the same place, right? Taken in the same place, not the same photograph. Photograph was taken at the same place during lockdown. No developmental activities, no companies and factories working. It's very clean. Same goes here. So the communities and the developments in this area also so much polluted. It's very clean. You can see sky, you can see places, you can see greeneries, roadways, everything clean. These are situation during pandemic. Coming to water pollution. So it is a very good example to say how developments are causing the pollution, air pollution, water pollution, and others. Water pollution, sewerage from millions of toilets deposits in the river Thames, only to be carried back by incoming tides. Yeah, some places are like this, and even in developed countries like river Thames, what happens? The used water, and sewerage means sanitation, sanitary water from millions of toilets deposited in the river Thames, only to be carried back by incoming tides. So the river Thames are having deposited with so many sediments, so many waste, so many developmental waste, right? Because of development, they have to discharge the waste, right? Where they find the place, very easiest way of disposal is into the river. Having deposited for prolonged time, the river is already locked, and further it has lost this energy, and only if you have enough head of water, it can move. If no water, it cannot move, right? It is rather blocking the flow. Thus, it has to wait for the tidal flow or a very big rain or flood must be there to carry over this locked or deposited, highly deposited or waterlogged regions to be cleared and then thrown off. Killed virtually all the fishes and sea mammals. Because of these waste deposits into the river, it is not only blocking the flow, right? If it is blocked the flow, water supply is endangered, right? Water supply is affected in the following or in the tailenders of further cities which is depending on the same river. And then the fishes and sea creatures are affected because of the deposits. They can have no life, no air to breathe because it's blocked by the materials already. In from 1851, sewerage was deposited further out to sea. Not only they polluted the river, they even dumped into sea, causing sea pollution, right? All the sea creatures, fish. Fishes are the number one food in the world, right? Again, major population is depending on um, aquatic livings, right? All these seafood are important for lively, people and overall the globe. That is also affected. Until 1950s, solid sewage was shipped out and dumped into the North Sea. So these are the examples of pollution, how the water is polluted, right? Number one, or River Thames. Number two, North Sea, dumping into North Sea. Any questions so far? If you join, chat. Are you
No,
following? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. No question, right? If you have any example also, you can highlight here. Wait, I check how many join. 135, very good. You can see the slide, right? Yes. Come on. Continued by. So far we discussed air pollution and then water pollution. Water pollution is mainly the inland rivers and also the sea source are affected. You know the now, come on, I have to give you this example. Drones. Drones are used successfully to find out all the waste, all the debris lying over the land, seashore, beaches. They are very helpful, successfully implemented in this project. In future, you can also take up how effective they are, right? I repeat, drones are used for, I forgot the country, but I think it is an operation already. Drones are used to find out, when I share the link later on, after this class, I recently got this, successfully implemented to find out wherever the waste are dumped. Very good project, you see. Last time I gave the example of post office, postman, right? Unmanned vehicle they develop as drones, like a drone. They will carry the post and they put it in the pigeonhole. It is timely, safe, and so on. But efficiency you need to check. The sustainability we have to check. Next is yesterday news. Drones are implemented successfully for finding the waste, plastics, because you cannot reach, right? You cannot go into the sea, or the man cannot cover all the area, right? But this can be successfully used to find out wherever the dumping, wherever the wastes are available, so that they can be removed. Good. So thanks to technology, right? uh, Although I'm talking about technologies affecting the environment, now this technology is supporting the environment, right? Okay. Depletion of freshwater resources. Yeah, freshwater resource. Number one, it is blocking, right? Automatically, when it is blocked at one part, the further flow is blocked, and the further water. See, water supply is mainly depending on river water. River water is the major source, which is collected, treated, and you are getting water at your tap at your home. If this water is blocked, Further, the downstream vendors will be affected. They cannot get reliable water, they cannot treat, they cannot supply, right? That's how there is a depletion, reduction of fresh water availability for the people where there is highly polluted. Number one is quality, number two, quantity. Quantity is also gone. Right, one moment. 1845, water table was 112 feet below the surface. In water table, yeah. Now, 1911, what happened? 236 below the surface. You see, what happened to the resource? Number one is due to the depletion is due to blocking, right? Number two, because of more withdrawal of water. Because you are greedy, I already told you, groundwater is the major source of water. I mean, the what do you call easily accessible source is underground water. So wherever the company they dig their well, they take their own water, they use it. By that, most of the people depending on underground water, right? Many companies, especially the seashore areas, and they cannot go inland and get the river water. Easy for them is go for underground water. By that, they also cause seawater intrusion. That is another story. This type of depleting the level, under drawing more water underground due to developments, has drawn down the water level below. If it is nearer, right, in Malaysia, I can see 10 to 20 meter, you can get water already. You dig the ground, within 10 to 20 meter, you can get water. Go to India, in my time, like when I'm in your age, within 100 meter, I can get it. Now today 300 meters, we have to dig 300 meters. It's 25 years, 300 meters they have to go down to get the water. Same goes to other countries, other parts of countries. The water level is depleted due to more withdrawal, more developments. Everyone have to taken care of this. How we are going to replenish the water, reuse, harvest the water, right? Replace the water which you already utilize. That is our question and the questions for future. Drops in water level have also been noted in Thailand, India, and southern United States. See, these are the people very, I mean, badly affected. Southern United States. Irrigation raised water tables in some places, but this led to sanitation. Example, Australia, USA, Mexico, and Egypt. Okay, you can irrigate. Irrigate means artificially you are applying water using a drip irrigation or spread. Just put the water, supply the water by pipelines or drippers or sprinklers. You can use it, but this led to salination, not sanitation, salination. One moment. Yeah. Plants, agricultural land plants, all are fed by rainwater. Number one is rainwater. If the rainwater is not sufficient to grow the crop, what they say, use irrigation. Artificially, they are supplying the water. In doing so, there are chances of salination, right? There are chances of salination, and there are chances of a low mineral content, right? The mineral content, not a mineral original mineral content is supplied for the plant, and this is also when the suddenly if it is a very hot situation, all the water will evaporate, leaving salt deposits on the ground before it is reaching the roots, before it is absorbed by the plant. That is why irrigation have to be minimized, depend on rainwater then and there, or whatever the what do you call, if the climate is good, if the season is good, and we are producing the seasonal fruits and vegetables, we are fine, because it's fully depend on irrigation, I mean rainwater, which is good enough for the soil. But when you supply artificially, or even the rainfall is more than expected, right, or less than number one, less than expected, instead of 5 centimeter rain, it's just a drizzle, then you end up with, before it reaches the ground itself, it will evaporate, or otherwise within few minutes of rain it will evaporate and leaving the salt deposits on the soil, which in turn affects the agricultural land and plants. This situation in Australia, US, Mexico and Egypt. And this is also due to climate change effect, temperature increase effect. It's also underground. Salination is also underground. You see here the land, whole land is maybe is near the seashore, near the seashore. Salination is the salt deposit. Salination means salt deposit. Is the updraw of soluble minerals from groundwater to soil surface. This becomes a huge problem in parts of the empire. Now see here how this is happening. This is the land, right? Ground surface. Under the ground surface, there are different layers, maybe soft soil, hot soil, and then some mixing of minerals with soil and saline water, right? No, this one is different case, like this. What happens, Roy? Go somewhere. One moment. When this is like this, when you draw more water, right? When you draw more water, right? When you draw more water inland, after some certain, I mean, especially this is the problem in the seashore and coastal areas. When you draw more water than it is available, it will tend to draw or suck the water from underground or sea water, right? Especially in the coastal areas. For example, this is the coast. Example, this is the coast, and you are digging the well here or having some plantations here. If you draw more water, it will finish all the groundwater here, and if you draw some more, it will pull the seawater. It's called seawater intrusion. This water also mix with the underground water, leading to pumping out only salt water, like chlorine, sodium, calcium, bromine. These are the things you are drawing together with the water. When the water comes to the land, after all using, the salt get deposited like this. End up with salt deposition. Is the point clear? Seawater intrusion. The name is called seawater intrusion. Because of more pumping, due to less quantity available at the point, it will cause salt deposits after the water is utilized or even if it is evaporated. Right. Salt builds up irrigation soils and salt is toxic to plant growth. It will affect the roots and hence the plant is spoiled. Irrigation water contains dissolved salts picked up from lands over which it passes. Evaporation leaves salts behind. I already explained this. When you supply water, and it will either stuck to the soil or if the water is evaporated before it is utilized by the plants also, end up with deposition of salts on the ground. Acute problem in semi-arid regions, 20% are world's irrigated lands affected. So there's an issue existing in 20% are world's irrigation land affected. About 20% of lands are affected. Semi-arid, arid, semi-arid, humid. These are the classification according to agricultural land, right? Humid means very cold, right? Arid means very hot region. Semi-arid means half year it will be hot, half year it will be cold. Malaysia is none of them, I tell you. It was, I don't know, it is changed just now. I mean, recently, like past 10 years, it is changed. But before this, Malaysia is very hot and very cold region. At one point, very hot. At one point, very cold. But I cannot see the cold, but always hot nowadays due to climate change. Right. In the USA, 30% of irrigated lands are suffering from salination. You see here, because they are depending on irrigation, they want to grow more, they want to develop more. They cannot depend purely on in rainfall, which is good enough, or the seasonal got changed. They are depend on irrigation. End up with 30% of their land are polluted by salt deposits. In Mexico, grain yields have been reduced by 1 million tons. 1 million tons per year. You see the quantity, alarming rate of deposits on the ground. reduced by 1 million tons. So it's a huge loss because of these pollution and the deposits and improper irrigation, improper water supply to the plants. It has ended up with a loss of 1 million tons per year because of salination, especially salination. 1 million per ton, 1 million tons per year has been reduced. This again photos taken from pandemic. Ganges, the river Ganges. Man sitting at the river Ganges. Before pandemic is like this. After pandemic is very clean. No more pollution. Maybe all washed away and no more pollution. The situation, same site is very clean. Again, more activities. Again, river Ganges in India. More activities happen during, before pandemic. That's why there are more deposits, more waste by people activities, whether religious or non-religious, or for settlements. All these things happen. Now, after, during pandemic, I should say during pandemic, no activities, no one is allowed to go out, right? All safe inside. The water is very clean. It can go freely, no blocking, can move freely, clean water. Same goes here. Salt deposits here clean. Deforestation. Deforestation is another effect we have listed down in under developmental activities. So for developmental activities, we need the land area, right? You're occupying more land area than you require or you can utilize. How you use it? Forest area. You clear up the forest area. Proportionally less woodland than any other country in Europe by the 19th century. By 19th century, very less or no woodland, only buildings and materials are there. So deforestation is worse to the extent that in 19th century, very less woodland than any other country in Europe. Britain's success in war based on its navy. Before 20th century, all ships were built in timber. So building proved a great drain on wood stocks. Removal of hedgerows when field sizes were increased further exacerbated the problem. 1864 to 1899, wood imports tripled to 10 million tons. See, these are all the figures and facts due to deforestation. Number one, they produce more wood. They cut more wood. Any other country in Europe, and then Europe, the Britons are the number one to deforestation in the Europe region. And they were successful in the war, in navy. Because they built structures, they need more wood for their structures, for their army, for their houses, for their everything, right? For their livelihood, they utilize more of wood, which is cheaper and relatively stronger for construction of their own missiles. Own what do you call them? Protection, right? The devices against protection of the country, protection of the people. They utilize more of wood. We end up with more problems exacerbated. In 1864 into 1899, wood imports triple C to the extent that they triple in 19th century. They triple to 10 million, right? They triple to 10 million tons. Means every century it was increased. So far we are discussing about all the effects due to industrialization, right? Number one, acid rain, fog and smog, air pollution, acid rain, air pollution, water problem, deforestation. There are so many, but environmentally, the ecology imbalance is caused by these 4 factors. We saw all these 4 factors and then end up with what we can do, right? To overcome this issue, what can we do? Any idea? It starts from you. What can we do? Number 1, you take just go around these 4 problems only. What are all the means and methods and measures and strategies that as an individual, as a public, as a country, as a policy, we can improve? What we are going to do? Here are some points. Let me go through this first, and then you can, if you have better ideas, you are the people who is going to be the leader, right? Leader, or you're going to use the environment, you're going to exploit it without exploiting, without harnessing more, right, than usual. You have to protect the environment. In that case, you must have all this kind of sense and knowledge and the skills to avoid wastage, right? Avoid pollution, avoid depletion of the resource. All these things to be imported in your mind and also in your practice. What we have to do? You can encourage manufacturers by choosing to buy more energy efficient and less hazardous electronic. Yeah, it starts from home. Buy an efficient washing machine, buy an efficient air cooler, right? With that, you are saving energy, you are uh, not wasting energy. And then save energy by put off all the unused things. These are all things that as an individual you can do it. And then hazardous electronics by supporting companies that make yeah, very good examples I recently gone through. Later I will post for you. Many companies like IKEA, right? IKEA, Coca-Cola, and Lafarge, they have although they have some closing down, there are some issues going on. There are many companies who has come forward to take action on reducing waste, using more of reuse. Amazon also, there's a good example, by production of many books, articles. Nowadays all online, right? All online, no paperwork, no paper based publications, texts available for the students. They all online, gadgets, using gadgets. So no need to use more paper, no need to cut many trees, right? With that, Amazon is helping in terms of when have come out with some policies to reduce the waste, change use. Many companies have come forward either to reuse or recycle or mm, making their product energy efficient and so on. These are the good examples and standing examples, I tell you. IKEA, Coca-Cola, Lafarge, Amazon, and then many other companies. I can't remember everything now, but you can find more examples. Yeah, how IKEA has come out. See, nowadays their Almira, they those days they make a very huge Almira because of pride and envy. They must build a very strong, very huge Almira, which is static and which is stored by people, and then it cannot be dismantled and so on. Now they come out with dismantleable, right? Dismantleable. It's called refurbished. You might have seen in the purchase when you're purchasing refurbished items. Means what? It is reused, recycled material, using reuse or recycled material without wasting, right? If there's a small fault, without wasting, they rectified it, improve it, replace the component, and made it as a refurbished item. You still have the 100% function as the original, but the thing is, it is not wasted. It is not put to waste and causing a waste pollution. They are refurbished, right? Renovated or reused by the people, and it is successfully sold, and the price also a little bit lower for the same functionality. So these are all achievable by having the sense of uh, not producing waste, right? Reducing the waste production and so on. Right. You can also use your own, do your own part to reduce environment impact by not using wasteful and disposing of your electronics safely and properly. You must have your sense of, because you from your generation onwards, and they are all using like 21st century, right? Starting from 21st century, everyone is having the phone. Yesterday I got a one word from a professor, Tajuddin. Our phones, everyone is having phone in your hand. Our phones or my phone is smarter than me. Everyone is having smarter phone, you see. Your phone is smart, but I am not smart. That is a fact that is a fact, and that is where we are living in. Your phone can get you in a minute what you want. What is your problem? What is your question? What's the data you want? Right? To that extent, it's very fast. Information go down, right? But we are not smart, so we have to be smarter than our phone to use these smartphones like this. You people are the one utilizing, enjoying more of gadgets, and you should know the end product. What happens to the end product when you finished broken or you want to change? What you're going to do? How you're going to dispose it? Think of it. Whether you're going to send to recycle things or trading, do something trading. Nowadays, it is not harm. It is you are helping environment. Trade in. If not trading, send to where it is properly disposed. In many countries they have, even every city is having their, what do you call, I forgot the term. Mm, uh, recycling companies, reusing companies are there in every cities. You can find out and you can dispose it safely directly to them. You sell to them. You sell to goldsmith, mean the who are doing iron, right? Iron works. If it is iron materials, if it is electronic material, sell to the recycling yard. You are getting money at the same time. You are disposing properly. Every city nowadays, every city and every district is having the recycling company. You know, so you must find out and utilize it. Where you must take care of end products as well, not only utilizing and enjoying the benefits. Next is a carbon emission. Mostly carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide are greenhouse gases that are produced by people. Greenhouse gases are in the atmosphere that trap and reflect heat and radiation back to the planet's surface. It is believed that over the last century, the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has increased due to carbon emission and that are contributing to global warming. See, these gases have to be, that's why I said in one line, the gases that is coming in, right, or the present at the greenhouse, the belt, have to be properly maintained, properly. See, I heard that even the hole in the green belt was closed during pandemic, you know. There was a hole in the green belt, which is protecting our earth from other planets or other radiations, right? Because of this hole, there are unwanted radiations affecting our earth. But during pandemic, during clean worldly activities and clean environment, even that hole was closed and we are protected. You know, that was a story in news I heard, but I don't have scientific materials with me, but this is the news. To that extent, if the developmental activities are controlled or if they're taken care of, economic and non-economic equally, we are safe. Our environment is safe, right? Talking about the greenhouse gases, so these gases in the atmosphere that trap and reflect heat and radiation back to the plant's surface. So instead of getting the radiations out, it is re-radiated back to the surface. It is believed that over the last century, the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, yeah, where it is one thing is re-radiation, another one is we are also producing these bad gases which is present in greenhouse. I mean the combination only they call this as a house. So gases, right? Gases present in the atmosphere and the environment. But the combination of these type of gases are called greenhouse gases, which is protective for the environment. But when the amount is increasing, it is blocking or it is not properly functioning to radiate out of the atmosphere, but it is re-radiate back to the atmosphere because of this more accumulation of these gases causing what is called temperature increase. climate change, global warming, and so on. Carbon emissions get released into the atmosphere from things like car, air, airplane, power plants, and factories. They also get released by people like you when you use vehicles or electricity created from burning fossil fuels. The computer you are using to read this is using electricity, and so is mobile device and video game system. We're all guilty of enjoying things that aren't exactly eco-friendly. But if we are smarter about how we use technology, we can reduce our environmental impact. So we cannot overcome without, we cannot live without these gadgets, right? We are surrounded by electronics, always 24 hours. Yes, for sure, nobody can say no. Right from even the villages are embedded with 5G, high-speed internet, high electronic system, right? With that, many of the anthropological effects are there, but we are not going to that part. But now, everyone live with the gadget, right? Who, whatever the age it might be, we are fully built up with radiations. In that case, everyone have the conscious, the knowledge of how to handle them, how we are protecting the environment, how to reduce this type of waste, how to support for the good environment, avoiding global warming, climate change, sea level rise, and so on. Okay, you have to keep this in mind. Another effect is another way of doing this is by techno crash. Follow techno crash, also called electronic waste or e-waste, is any broken or unwanted electrical or electronic device and is currently the most rapidly growing type of waste. The techno trash, understand what are the techno trash. If you just throw away techno trash with the regular trash, it is usually end up in landfill. Yeah. Now that is why the classification of waste are important. By understanding this effect of different types of waste, you should have a policy or methodology right from home to practice separate the waste so that you save the environment, you reduce the cost of uh, treatment, right? You reduce the cost of treatment, you reduce the pollution. Many ways, you are helping many ways by separating the waste according to their characteristics. Don't dump everything into landfill. Don't put in one bin, send to in the water or any drainage system, which will be dumped into the landfills or burned. End up with smog, end up with poisonous gas, release of poisonous gases, polluting the environment, and so on. So avoid such things. Practice from the home and from companies where you are by classifying the waste, dividing the waste, and then dispose. Okay. Most electronic contains non-biodegradable materials and heavy metals, toxic materials, all that you are using in your batteries, products, right? The gadgets all are lead, lithium, cadmium, right? Boron, and so on. All are, most of them are toxic. Most of all are chemicals. Most of them are toxic. Have to be safely disposed. If not, you pollute the environment, also pollute the species, right? From species to people, human being, they are affected by these ways, right? Over the times, oh, I will take another 5 minutes and run for the quizzes. You have 5 questions, okay? For the project management, please run through the project. Have you done the project management quizzes? I think you have not done. Have you done project management quizzes? Not done? The end of the class, I plan to run the quizzes for project management. If not done, I think it's not done. You can spend 5 minutes on that. Let me run through this slide for another 10 minutes. Not 10, 5 more minutes. Yeah. Okay, 5 to 7 minutes I will run through this. Over time, these toxic materials can leak into leachate problems. When you leave the waste and you go out of, even at home you can see this leachate, the problem of leachate. You leave the waste bag at your home and you forgot to throw and you went out for a week or even 2 days, just 2 days, 3 days, you can see some kind of watery substance going out of the waste, causing it's all type, right? Maybe biologically, chemically, toxically, it is dangerous when it is still there or get contaminated by others, other maybe water or food or other and so on. In that case, the whole bunch of trashes that are thrown by all people of the city or the country, it will lead to contaminate the water we drink, the plants we eat, and the animals that live around the area. Right? So you should know the effect. A small bag, half kg or 1 kg waste that is thrown at a home can cause so much of leachate. Can you imagine the whole lump sum of waste that are thrown into landfill from the whole community? How much it will affect and put the soil or put the environment to on use? You can imagine how many folds it will be affected. Right? Many European countries have even banned technotrash from landfill. Yeah, better not to. Many European countries nowadays they have a proper classification system, or they are directly sent to recycling plants. They are not no longer sent to landfill, having understood these effects. These toxic materials can cause all kinds of bad effects, including nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, and even cancer. So, because they are poisonous, they will lead to all these types of uh, biological changes in the people and species and animals. These toxins can build up in your body because they are contaminated, right? You didn't dispose properly. It was disposed either into the river where you are depending on the water is dependent, where the water treatment plants are dependent on. They take the same water where you dispose the toxic material, treat it and send you back, right? They cannot sometimes I don't know even today until today there is no fine perfect technology which can purify water. We cannot use the word purify anywhere. Okay, we can only treat the water. We even in the water if the oil is mixed, there is no, although we have nanotechnology, membrane technology, all this high-fi technology, until today there is no good technology, one technology which can separate the oil from the water completely separate the oil from the water and get you the pure water. Right? For your information, these are the area for your future research, you can take it. And if the oil is mixed, let's say for example any lorry container met with accident, spill of the land, it will spoil the soil, right? How to reclaim the soil? This is also number one project which has no answer until today. The soil become infertile. All this takes very long time to replenish or get mineral rich, right? Get back to the original. It takes longer or no way nowadays. Until today, we are not successful in these researches. So these are all the problem which is occurring everywhere, and we have to be aware of. If you eat animals that have been contaminated, right? All of you know the problem, right? You are getting a double dose of toxins. What's even worse, your body can't properly process some of these metals, and so they might take years to get out of your system. They're still there, they cannot take out. That's what I just now I told you. Like oil reclamation from the soil or from water, you cannot remove. Once the toxin is coming into your body, some of them is not 100% removable. They are floating everywhere, running. We cannot trace, we cannot remove. There is still, it is all under research to completely you treat the human being which is toxin, right? Toxicated, or animals which is toxicated. Hence, we have to be aware before it is causing, before you get contaminated. To help protect the environment, do not put techno trash in with the rest of your household garbage. Check with your local recycling centers to see if they take techno trash, or enter the type of trash on your zip code to look for other recycling places nearby. You can also ship into the company that specializes in disposing techno trash. So that's why I said in the beginning itself, You must find out the way, practice from home, separate the electronic waste, separate the gadgets, separate the toxic materials according to your knowledge, right? As far as you know, nowadays all or most of the family members are educated already, right? Then you should apply your knowledge to, use your knowledge. Don't be dumb or don't be ignoring these knowledge, right? Which is whenever it is toxic, separate out, find out the recycler or separate it out, right? Sell it, trade it to somehow before you waste it. Right, and this is the thing code available in UK, but similar codes are available in Malaysia. In every country, they have their own supporting environment. If you go to website Water, they have many scheme. They recently there is another scheme also to encourage people. If you do some kind of collection of waste, right? Some services to Water, your bill you don't have to pay the bill Water. It is there. I forgot, and they are giving some promotion. They are giving some what do you call price. Those who are supporting Water, those who are separating waste, those who are helping this, reducing their waste, right? Disposal. Their bills are zero. They don't have to pay the bill. There are some kind of concessions given when they are supporting these waste management activities. Okay, stop here for today. And let me continue with the quizzes. Just 7 minutes left. Quickly take down this quizzes.com. We'll run this. What do you call? It is ready. Project management. I stop here for today's class. If you have any question, you can ask me while I open the quizzes.com. All of you get into the quizzes. Just 5 questions only. Project management. Start the quiz. Classic. Let me share. Just 5 questions. Answer. With that, our class, today's class will end. Let me share the screen for you. Any question you have? Okay, take this code. All of you take this code quickly. Please join. Go to joinmyquizzes.com and then use this code. I will put on the chat box the quizzes.com and then the code. You can join quickly. If you have class, you can leave at 3:30. Right? After quizzes, you can leave the class. After completing quiz, you can leave. If you have class at 3:30, please leave exactly at 3:30. I start in 1 minute. Join quickly, all of you. Okay, let me start the quiz. Already we are left with 4 minutes. It's good enough to start now. Join quickly. Okay, start. 74 join already. Let me stop the quiz. Okay. Time up already. You can leave now. I end the quiz. The winner, sunflower. J. What is this? J, G, Ju. Try to give your name. Take the credit, full credit. Okay, good luck. See you next class. Bye bye. For project discussion, I will open shortly. Please hold on. Give me some break. I will call you later. Okay, thank you.